morning. A very warm welcome into the form where we've got Group 3 action all around the country this weekend to look forward to. And Leith, we saw that weather and track conditions last week play part. Let's hope this time we get better weather.
Yeah, hopefully those tracks are sort of starting to dry out a little bit. Avondale played pretty well yesterday, but yeah, obviously Matter was underwater. Yeah, it was. Some of the jockeys said it was like being on a jet ski behind those horses. So
absolutely.
Look, that Matter Cup meeting's on next Wednesday, and it'll be a good field too.
Yep, it was a shame, and that was what we said here this time last week. You know, we're betting on the weather, which you'd rather just be betting on form, and hopefully that it plays truly. There's a little bit of that this week, especially Otaki. There's a bit of rain hitting that meeting. Ashburton looks as though escape it, and let's hope that Rotorua doesn't get the worst of it, because it looks as though it may come again on Sunday. So some good racing though, and really good racing in Australia too. So lots to look forward to.
Yeah, there certainly are, and of course there's some good racing at Otaki too. Sweens, as I say, a very good morning to you.
Yeah, morning team. Looking forward to the weekend. I think the Ashburton meeting is about as good as I've seen. I actually think the three-year-old event is a really nice event and might just play into the Guineas with a couple of horses there I think a little bit underrated. And I do think, Pip, that the bookmakers have given you a few opportunities this weekend across all three meetings.
Yeah, absolutely, and we might find out what those are very shortly as we have a look at what is coming up on the show. And we will be starting with the feature down at Ashburton, the Group 3 Barneswood Farm Stakes. We also will be having a look at Otaki, yes, the Spring Sprint to look forward to too. And on Sunday we have the Group 3 Swaney Stakes, so plenty of Group 3 action, our usual segments as well, including our best bets. So let's get into it. We'll be starting with Ashburton, having a look at the weather and track conditions. Aidan, it looks like we're getting that nice weather this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. The Alps are doing their job again. They're keeping that weather over on the west coast. So hopefully Ashburton just escapes it. And we know this track is a terrific track when it plays well, and it's a soft 7 at the moment. That should mean that it does play fairly well. They haven't raced there since July, so this should be pretty fresh going, and hopefully fitting for the meeting, as Bevan said. Really good card.
Really is, and again another good guide towards the 1,000 and 2,000 guineas as we take a look at the market here, where Origin of Love is the favourite at $4.60, Miss Starlight at $5, A Lot of Go $5.50. Bevan, what do you make about Orange of Love being favourite here?
Couldn't believe it, almost fell off my chair. There's just no basis for it being favourite, and I'm not saying the filly can't win, because she did win well last time in a maiden race, but there's just form around Miss Starlight, A Lot of Go, Belle de Monde, Miss Siggy. I was a bit gobsmacked. I think the bookmakers, I'm not sure on what basis Origin of Love came up favourite, but I thought Miss Starlight should have been favourite, A Lot of Go should have been second favourite at least, and Origin of Love out at $6.50.
Look, I think it's a really good stepping stone for these horses that are going to the 2,000 and 1,000 guineas, and obviously they're up to 1,400 metres, and a lot of these horses are stepping up to there. So, look, I thought Belle de Monde's got another perfect draw. Vinny on again. Looks like it's going to box seat. Look, I thought Miss Starlight from the outside will probably end up maybe sitting outside leader.
Yeah, it is interesting, those two draws, Miss Starlight and Origin of Love, because both of them drawn wide with tricky draws. Maybe they have to take their medicine, so I'm just not too sure what they do. I agree, Olvaquero gets forward, and the other one I thought maybe would be Positive Lindenwood with Call as Serene.
Okay, that's the speed. Now let's take you back to the key form. We'll take you to the Canterbury Bell Stakes first, where we do see Miss Starlight. She went from the synthetic, obviously now remaining unbeaten here, Aidan, and she was very impressive.
She was really impressive. I've got to say, she hadn't got me leading into this. They've both been 2 poly wins, but this was a performance of real authority. You see Miss Siggy down the outside. She's come out and won again since. The form looks as though it's okay out of this. There was just some knocks that you can put on those Tiako horses. I think Belle de Monde underperformed. Cool Lazarine did get into tight quarters, but just not quite up to the best of her form either.
Yeah, she was super. Obviously, look, she sat outside leader on a tempo that wasn't that strong, but the best thing about her was the last 50 metres. Like, Tina was so soft on her. So, you'd say off that she's going to get 1,400 metres okay as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen her ceiling yet, and I think that's the really big thing about Miss Starlight. I've got to say, I wasn't a believer until the Canterbury Bell, but she was so good that day. Bevan, what did you make of it that day?
I thought she was very, very good. I think there's no doubt that she's got high-end ability. 1400 metres might be a slight question mark just with her racing style. She does hit the ground pretty hard, but look, she's got a lot of ability. You've mentioned Masigi, who got a soft win at its most recent performance. Belle de Monde callers her in. I agree, were a little bit disappointing. The Brisbane horse was good, but hadn't really stepped up into really good company with a lot of aplomb. So, look, I think Miss Starlight probably deserved to be favourite just on that performance.
Yeah, I have to agree, but you mentioned the two Te Akau runners. Let's find out what Sam Burgesson thought about them and also, of course, the Origin of Love.
Really pleased with all three. It's come up a pretty even field, and they've probably got to take that next step now. Sort of three different profiles. Origin of Love, I thought, will take good confidence from that maiden win, and she's trained on really well. She's sort of taken a bit of time, but Hunter and the team are doing a fantastic job with her down there. She can be a bit cantankerous and full of herself, but really enjoying it being down there at Christchurch. Belle de Monde was probably a little bit disappointing last time, sort of scratching our heads as to, whether it was second up or, she copped a really good bump at the top of the straight there in the Canterbury Bell. So hoping to, turn that form back around. She was so good first up, and it was, justifiably the favourite for that race. But has to step up to beat that really good filly, that won the Canterbury Bell. So probably ride her a bit colder, and then Coolers Rain. She was a bit stiff in the Canterbury Bell, and certainly deserves her chance there on Saturday. Probably the 1400s, the query, but a good opportunity at black top for her.
Which one's prepared best for this one, do you think?
Yeah, like I say, three different profiles. You'd have to probably lean towards Belle de Monde, but I'm really excited to see how Origin Love can, take that next step from her maiden.
Okay, so Sam, slightly towards Belle de Monde, but let's have a look at Origin of Love here, Leith. Obviously, bookies have made her favourite. How do you stack up her form?
Look, it's an interesting race, but obviously Opie was supposed to go down to ride one of the Te Akau runners, and by all accounts it was going to be Belle de Monde. So obviously he's suspended. Vinny takes the ride. He's won on it before. But look, this filly was good. Being by Snitchell, there's that slight question mark, the 1400 metres, but against her own age group, it should be okay. She was strong to the line. Obviously, the flashing light was on the third horse there.
Yeah, it sure was. Second horse is pretty consistent. I think we'll start favourite on an undercard race as well for the Parsons team. The times were pretty good. They stacked up really well up against, I think the other 3-year-old feature on the day. So, this horse is only half a length away from a lot of go on debut, and that wasn't a bad run. She's going to improve. You heard from Sam there just about how cantankerous, and she's not the easiest horse to train, but she's progressive, and she is a real factor in this race for sure.
A lot of go had it covered really, really easily in that first up run. Really, really easy. Just set off them and just bowled on past. And last start, she was very, very good, and she is on the improve, but that cantankerous nature might just play against it. This was a performance. This was a really, really good performance, because at the 300 metre mark, you think probably not going to get there today. Just pins his ears back and gets there, and he's not the finished product. My one concern is that is the Guinea's going to be too soon for him. Maybe he's a Derby prospect with a little bit of time getting him over a bit more ground, but lethal. The last bit of this was fantastic.
Yeah, it was sort of quite a confident ride by Corey Campbell as well. He got him balanced up. The horse wanted to lay in a little bit. I really like the run of the third horse, Pontoon. What you don't see there, he over-raced. It was only his second start. He's a promising horse. He is a horse by Ace High. He looks like a 1400 metres is going to suit him. Terry Mosley sticks, but yeah, I think a lot of go is something about him. I think he's the one they will have to beat this week.
Yeah, Sidewickers go on Pontoon this week as well. Yeah, a lot of go just does seem to be tracking the right way. Wins in both those two, and I like the fact that Corey Campbell knows the horse really well now. So you do like that. The form looks good. I don't think there's a lot over these top three, so it does shape as a pretty handy race.
It certainly does. Okay, well, it is time now for selections. Leith, you're always first, so who have you got?
Yeah, I've been with a lot of go most of the time, and look, I think he's a good each way bet. Look, he's got the perfect gate 4. He can sort of jump out, put himself there, go to sleep, and a nice big roomy track at Ashburton will suit him as well.
For me, I'm going to go with Miss Starlight. I've just been switched. She transformed me with my opinion of with that winning the Canterbury Bell. The draw may be a little bit of a trick, and I just wonder whether they might have to take their medicine and actually take a spot further back. But she was so good the other day. I think she's the horse to beat. So I'm with her. Sweens, you?
I'm sort of with you. I think Miss Starlight, I think they'll work across and lead. I don't think there's any change in pattern there. But look, I've been with a lot of go since the off. I think he'll lap up 1,600 metres a lot of go as he goes forward, this horse. His gait, I think, leaves right on the mark here. There's going to be a bit of speed from out wide, so if he just jumps him out, he should find a perfect spot, not too far off the leaders. And I think he'll hit the line as strong as anything in the race. He's going really well, a lot of go.
Okay, that's the feature. Now let's have a look at the Ashburton Cup. Another really nice race on the program over the mile here. Race number 7, where Sir Albert's the favourite at $3.90, Lord Darcy at 5s, and Cognito at $5.50. So a little bit of value, I think, in this race, Bevan.
Yeah, there definitely is. Sir Albert sort of fell away at the back end of last preparation, but we know what he did through a Riccarton Carnival and looked back to somewhere near its best with its fresh out run and the trial. Lord Darcy, Cognito's going well, Master Marco, Ocean Light. I think they've got the market around about right on the mark here. I think Cognito might have been a little bit shorter.
It's look, it looks like a pretty easy sort of map. A ride, Complicate will lead. Sir Albert with a nice draw. Master Marco will just sit behind them. Cognito with the 60 kilos, they'll be sort of probably positive enough. And I thought sort of Harlech, he gets another trip away too to the South Island.
Yeah, he sure does. He's going really well according to Pam Gerard too. The speed does come from out wide for mine, both Bella Loose and Complicate, and Sir Albert to take a position. And that should mean that Master Marco gets a lovely run on the fence.
Okay, let's have a look at Cognito. He did make it back-to-back victories here, and boy, he just came past them and won this very easily on this occasion, but he does have that top weight this time, Sweets.
Yeah, look, I think the key here, I was actually on Master Marco this day and George got in a pretty awkward spot for about 150 metres and couldn't really get him clear. I thought he would have finished a lot closer if he'd got the opportunity. So he was the unlucky, but Opie just got Cognito out into the clear air. And look, we know his qualities. He's a very good horse, but he's getting right up to the top of the handicap now, and so it becomes more and more difficult. But look, I thought Master Marco was a touch unlucky, and I would probably be playing against Cognito again, albeit like the way this horse is going, the way he races down south, he'll be tough to beat again, Cognito.
Yeah, obviously Cognito, he's going for 3 in a row. He loves the old South Island, suiting him well. Look, he's gone from 54, 58.5 and now 60 kilos. So there is a bit of a question mark there with the weight, but he's certainly with the draw for Vinny on. He's got to be a top 3 play. Yeah,
as Bevan said, Master Marco was a little bit unlucky last time out. So there's a 5.5 kilogram swing in the weights that he gets over Cognito. Like you say, Cognito's flying. He's a good horse, though, Cognito. Look at his record, he's a Group 2 winner as well. So, you know, he's going really well. You can't knock him on what he's doing, but just the weights say that Master Marco's in a sweet spot here, especially from the draw. It just gets a run of the race for mine and looks to be, you know, probably the horse to beat. Okay, another form reference is from Timudu. So we've got a handful coming out of this race, including Ocean Light, who ran 3rd here and actually just runs out of room up the inside too, so not a bad run.
Yeah, it was good, Pip. Obviously, Ocean Light gets a distance going to suit as well. A mile again. Barrier 8, Kylie on. It was great to see Kylie get the 2,000s last week.
1,000 Leaf, don't give it.
1,000, sorry, 1,000 Pip, yes. But look, Ocean Light's going well, so look, I probably can't quite have it in my top 3 this week, but they'll know he's there.
Absolutely. I thought this was definitely the run of this race. Runs the quickest last, 8, 6 and 4, and it wasn't, you know, it was against the race shape. So the run was really good. Drops 4.5 kilograms. So while EPB drops 4.5 and Complicate drops 3.5, it does come into this nicely. So from that race, the horse I'd be with would be Ocean Light.
I agree, I'd be with Ocean Light, but I'll keep it quick. I don't think the winner of this race comes out of that particular video replay.
Okay, let's hear from Pam Gerard. We've got Harlech racing down there. Let's see how he's tracking.
Pretty well. He hasn't actually quite made it yet. We had a bit of a hiccup and caught up in Bulls, but he's a seasoned traveller. He probably won't mind a couple of days in the paddock on holiday, and him and Richie, but yeah, really happy with him. He worked super out here the other week, and to admit, when they put the Matamata Cup back a week, I thought, shall we stay? But
so we're not going to show
look, the weather's good down there, and we're just sick of waiting for good tracks up here, so he's headed south.
Look, I'm going to go with Sir Albert. Bruno on, Terry Ray's got a nice draw. Miles going to suit as well. I think it'll be awfully hard to beat this week.
Yeah, absolutely. The first up run was terrific and narrowly beaten, has been to the trials and won since. So no knock on Sir Albert, but I'm going to go with Master Marco on weights and measures, and Master Marco just comes into this beautifully from the map. So with the 5.5 kilogram swing over Cognito, who's on top for me.
I'm with Sue Albert as well. I think weighted perfectly. The one sort of thing I've got in my mind is that the New Zealand Cup Carnival's not too far away, and Sue Albert will be looking to win over 2,000 metres when we get to that particular meeting, as we've seen in prior occasions. But I couldn't knock what it did at Timaru. I thought the trial at Riccarton was clearly very, very strong as well. So Sue Albert, for me, with Bruno Kiros riding a lot of the Terry Ray team this weekend.
Yes, hope he can pick up a few as we now move on to the open sprint over the 1,200 metres. Race number 6 with Spot On Time leads the betting at 3.20 from Illicit Dreams at 5.50, Insatiable at 5.50, and then Third Decree at $8. Have the bookies got this one right, Sweets?
I think so. Spot On Time's a very, very smart horse who does do things very professionally from a full position, but the draw is a niggle. The one price I wondered about was, I don't know if they went back and watched Texas Dolly. He was held up and behind them for the entire straight and would have been right in the finish fresh up. So I thought that might have been a little bit of value on the day.
Yeah, look, $12 is a good price for Texas Dolly. Obviously, there's so much speed in the race. She's a back market. It's going to suit her. Look, I thought Spartan's probably going to lead, maybe. La Ballanera, Illicit Dreams sort of maps are sort of just in behind them, but it certainly does look like it's a lot of speed in the race, Rod?
Yeah, I definitely. Those are the three that I had as well, La Ballanera, Sparta and Miss Miranda. There's a couple of horses here that are interesting. What do they do to Zoolander? I know he's gone back, but he might be a horse who they might just want to put into the race. And the other is Spot On Time. I think they can get 3 wide cover, and if they can get 3 wide cover, this horse trialled up so well. He was my trialist of the week the other day, and I think he's a super horse.
Okay, well, let's firstly have a look at Third Decree, because she actually did win on this day last year in this race, and you can see her coming down the outside. We know what a quality mare that she is as well, and she just loves Ashburton.
Yeah, look, this is a big, strong win, Pip. Obviously, last year's race is sort of, if you're the map to run it in again. A question mark for me. She's got 60 kilos, barrier 12. Just, you know, she'll be running on, but I just can't see her winning this week.
Yeah, they're just going to have to take their medicine from that draw.
Illicit Dreams there was very unlucky last year.
Yeah, and Illicit Dreams obviously went on to win the Pegasus, run second in the Stewards as well. So that form's rock solid, and there's another pace influence in the race as well, albeit from a tricky little spot as well. But Third Decree going really nicely. The resuming run was top notch, and yeah, just those concerns, isn't it? Weight and draw, but a horse who has won 9 of 26, so we know the quality's there. I agree on Illicit Dreams, and the form from Northland has been fine, and we know that she's a great traveller as well, so a lot of upside there.
Look, I agree with Leith here. Third Decree is a very smart mare. She has a great record second up, but she's getting into pretty tough territory with 60 kilos from a wide draw over 1,200 metres. I think that is quite in again, and therefore I don't have Third Decree as my top selection. I think Illicit Dreams, there's going to be a power of pace on here when you throw in a couple of other very quick horses here. It's going to be tough for those forward runners. I'm really looking for a back runner in this race, Pit, but look, a lot of respect for Third Decree, but just with 60 in a wide trap, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, and probably why she's out a little bit in the market. Spot On Time isn't, though. Let's take you back to the trial. And for those that missed it, Aidan, why did you like it so much?
Just obviously it was a really nice trial from a horse who's already won 5 of 10, is high quality. I don't know if Thad Taylor will be watching these because he follows my trialists really close. And I've got another one for you today too, Thad, so you'll love this one. Anyhow, we've got Spot On Time with a terrific trial. Says she's ready to go. Vinnie Colgan to ride for Terry Ray. A lot of boxes ticked.
Look, obviously he's had 4 runs on the course for 2 wins and a couple of placings. I just thought the Terry Ray's runners, I thought Texas Dolly was probably just on top of me of them, but he certainly did trial well there.
You'd expect a horse to jump and run, and again, it's another one with an awkward draw, but I think this is a very, very promising horse as it showed us through last preparation. It was a very good win at Ashburton when we last saw it back on the 13th of March, so I've got no doubt Spot On Time can win, but look, I couldn't believe the price they put up on Texas Dolly. It was held up for the entire straight behind Candy Cane. That was a very, very nice race. And I think if Texas Dolly got any sort of crack at them late, it would have run in the top 3. I thought the price was outstanding. I think Texas Dolly is a major each-way play in the 6th on the program there at Ashburton.
I'm going to go with Illicit Dreams. She was very unlucky last year. She had a nice trial at Cambridge, and Kenny Ray, maybe take a little exacta Texas Dolly.
Okay, I'm going to stick with my trial horse, Spot on Time. The draw is a little bit of a concern, but here's a horse who's won 5 of 10, and I think will be a group winner this season.
Okay, I love it. Leith already giving us the bets as we move on to race number 5 on the program. This is the Open over the 2,000 metres. Prince Albie at 5.50 heads very open betting affair. You've got ProServe at that quote as well, and then Musaif at $7 with Court of Appeal. And Musaif is the runner that we want to have a look at first. Now, obviously a little bit of a race that's hard to assess with the faller, but a nice performance from Musaif.
Yeah, look, he was out of trouble. He was outside the leader. Obviously, Esfayard was probably the most affected in the race when they did fall. And look, he was coming off this with one run under his belt with no trial. So he's got so much natural improvement, and Donovan Cooper's riding well at the moment. Gets in there with 52.5 kilos as well.
Yeah, you just got to take this form with a grain of salt, because basically every horse in behind was affected, and the horse who was who really instigated the fall was in the trail. So Musaif going okay. He just hasn't quite convinced me this time in. I thought Noble Knight was a big improver out of the race. Runs second up into 6. He's third up now. I just thought he was the big improver out of the race for me, Noble Knight.
Yeah, I thought Musaif was outstanding. I mean, like, they were the ones right on speed, and you've been a big fan of Riviera Rebel. Did a wonderful job for Kylie. I thought Musaif second up over a trip was outstanding. I think there's massive natural improvement, and up to the 2,200 metres with 52.5 on his back. I think he comes majorly into play this horse. I think he's quite a good bet at the price of around about $7.
Okay, and now let's have a look at Prince Albie. This is something Gory jumped up from the 1,200 metres this day up to the 1,800, so pretty tidy effort to run second.
I think if it rains, he definitely comes into play. If that track, probably at Ashburn, that's probably going to get back to that soft sort of 5. Yeah. Look, he's a good honest horse, but I just can't quite have him on my win ticket this week.
The step up in distance will be his friend, and the claim down to 56.5. He's a good horse, and he'll be building, no doubt, to have a look at maybe something like a New Zealand Cup. But yeah, you can't. I don't think you can rule him out in this, especially third up now with those couple of runs under the belt. So yeah, he goes into my numbers, but yeah, as I said, I was really taken by Noble Knight, so that's the way I was going.
Yeah, I think Kelvin's got a race in mind through the Cup Carnival. Young Floor Moorman is aboard, so they're getting the 3 kilos. These older horses, not overly easy for the apprentices to really get their mind on the job and wind them up. So I'm a little bit with you boys. I'm not with him this time around. I'll go with Musaif. I was with him last time. I thought he put up a really brave performance, so expecting a bigger run this Saturday on slightly better track conditions, which should be right up Musaif's alley.
Yeah, been stealing my notes again, Bevan. Look, I think Donovan Cooper's the key to this horse. Gets down to 52.5 kilos, barrier 1, 2,200 metres is going to suit him. And yeah, I think he's great value at $7.
Yep, you boys be on the same page, and I'll be against you as the plan has been. No knock on Musaif, and I agree entirely about Donovan Cooper. He's riding really well down there too. But I'm with Noble Knight. Third up, I thought just in a sweet spot. I think Musaif avoided the carnage, so horses behind didn't, and I just everything went to favour for Musaif. So yeah, I know you can't, but we had Riviera Rebel getting that one right, and I know Sweens was against Riviera Rebel, but Musaif had his chance.
Okay, all right. What about a best of the rest, Leith?
I'll take you to race 1, Pip. Ashburton again. Look, I thought Professional Lad, he was really good his last 2 runs. He's due a win. Bruno on, good draw, barrier 5, $4.60. I'm happy to play him. Race 1.
For mine, I'm going with a $16 chance. So On File, who has been a winner and second in the last couple, only goes up a kilogram. Last time out, ran the quickest last 400 of the race. I couldn't believe the $16 here on File, who's in great form. Yes, comes up against Show Pony, but comes in 4 kilograms better. I just thought the price was incredibly generous. Does have a tricky barrier draw, but the Parsons could be in for a really big day.
A-Rod, you forgot the best horse in that race. I think the most interesting horse on the program is Loose Sally. She was a very, very strong 3-year-old. She's been out for a long time. Big break, 165 days given. But she does have a good record at the shorter trips as well. She was great winning over ground at the back end of last preparation. I love what I saw of this horse when it was down at Wingatui with Pip. Only impressed me. Look, I think Loose Sally might be one of the more sort of interesting horses on the entire program there at Ashburton.
Okay, head to head with the best of the rest, and that does complete our look at Ashburton. We're going to take a quick break, and then off the other side, Otaki is coming up. Welcome back into the forum. Before we do talk about Otaki, we do have our black bookers for you to follow. Leith, who have you got for us this week?
Look, I'm going to have the Robert Wellwood, Roger James trained Confessor. Look, she's only had the one start at Tauranga and she's a little bit green late here. She was going into this trial with only one trial under her belt, so there's certainly natural improvement. And look, there's a nice maiden race on the 22nd of this month at Tiaraha, maiden 3 or 12, big roomy track. She'll be going awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice run. I've found a similar type run, but this is down in Invercargill. It's a race I was following closely because the horse in third was my best bet last week, and it gets miles away. So obviously putting a bit of a hex on myself from it. But the second horse, Ripper Time, was terrific. Obviously, it was a race won by Azalea Star with the quickest closing sessions, but all the second quickest, and obviously leaving Swimmy Swan, who was a short price favourite and was best bet, about 6 or 7 lengths in arrears. So good enough for me for next time.
I didn't take a lot out of Hara just because of the awkwardness of the track condition, but what I did is that Rareza is in for a really good preparation. Gee, what were we doing with Hoyo Sassbomb, team? We just thought about one run at Otaki and left her alone. She was great, but Rareza's come back. She does need a little bit of cut out of the track, Rareza, but she's come back big, strong, and she'll win a nice race.
And I'm going for Perfect Tycoon. I got him before Sweens with this one down at Invercargill. I think Shankar Mariandi's got another really nice one on his hands. Have a look at it just out wide there, finishing second. Has the best sectionals throughout the day, including the open 1,200 metres. Really hits the line strong. I think when it gets up over further too, will be even more suited. So Perfect Tycoon for me. And those are our black bookers for the week. And make sure you note them down. You can see them on your bottom of your screen. We've had a few of these land too, and there's a couple more racing I think this week too, so yep, follow those. From there though, we are going to have a look now at Otaki. Yes, some more Group 3 action, this time in the Central Districts with the Spring Sprint. So get to you, Sweens. Are we getting any better weather this time in the Central Districts?
Look, there has been slight improvement in this track condition into a heavy 9. The one thing we have across the next 4 days is gale force winds. There is rain in the forecast, not a ton of rain, just a little bit here and there. So I'm not convinced we'll get out of that heavy position, but I don't think it's going to be anything like we've probably faced in the last couple of weeks. And the track there at Otaki's raced pretty well with a lot of rain on it in recent times. So probably in that heavy range, whether it's an 8, 9 or 10 pip, I'm not really sure. And they do have 9 good races this Saturday.
They do. I don't usually want one to stick around, but we do for the next couple of days at Otaki as we take a look at the Group 3, the fastinternet.nz Spring Sprint, where Electron is favourite for Sam Minot at 380, Archaic Smiles also at that quote, and then Spencer at $7 with Bellardo Boy at 850. That's how the market's shaping up, guys. What about the speed?
Looks like nice, genuine sort of tempo. Turn the ace from barrier 1. He looks like probably the natural leader. Spencer from 8 should sort of slowly get across. Just like a rack smile, looks just perfectly placed here from barrier 2 to get a beautiful run in the race.
I thought they'd be really positive with Electron, especially as favourite and a horse who's unbeaten in a couple on the track. So I think they'll probably just land there. Do you reckon Spencer leads, or do you just sort of get into the top 4?
I think he probably sits outside leader, and then they can dictate if they're going slow. They can, cross. But I thought turn the ace from the inside jaw would be a natural leader.
Okay, well, the first horse we want to have a look at is Spencer, and he was back to his brilliant best this day, Bevan.
Yeah, he was. He's an interesting horse, isn't he, Spencer? When he gets it right, he's so good. I just think sometimes when things aren't 100% perfect for him, he might just suck his thumb and put up the white flag at times. But when he gets it right, and he loves Trentham, make no mistake about that, he's very good there, and he's beating Maritoli, Molly here, Bold Bell, Faravello, and a couple of other horses, Sinbin, who was slightly disappointing. But look, if he got it all 100% right, and he is 1 from 1 at the track, then look, he has to be a player in the race for sure.
Yeah, look, obviously he's got the 59 kilos, but he's one of those big, strong horses. He can carry the weight. Yeah, we all missed him at Wellington. And, his course, he's had one start at Otaki for a win as well, and he can handle that sort of wet tracking conditions.
Yeah, reigning champ in this race as well, although it was run at Te Rapa last year on the Livermore Classic undercard. It stays down in the CD this year, but he's going really well. Alan Nicholas is riding. Gee, she's just going really well at the moment too. So although I've gone from the claimer last time to get the horse of 58, it does go up a kilogram to be top weight in a weight for age, but Ellen's going well enough. She'll be able to get this horse into the right spot, and I really think Spencer's one of the hardest to beat here.
Okay, well, joint favourite is Archaic Smile, and Aidan did catch up with Holly Wynnard. Just asked how it's going heading into the spring sprint.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I'm the same as everyone else, just watching the weather and what the tracks are doing. But yeah, she's on the minimum down there, and it doesn't look like an overly strong field, so she could be on with a good chance.
Yep. What about that sort of step to the 14? How ready is she for that?
Yeah, she's pretty ready. She had an exhibition gallop on Saturday at Matamata on a very heavy track, and she flew through that and had a really good gallop out here this morning. So, and the trip obviously brings them on as well. So, no, I think she's pretty forward for it.
What are your thoughts about her if she does find a heavy track?
Look, she was one of those horses that never used to go sort of left-handed. She's right-handed. I was at Matamata and she galloped super. She's in a good spot at the moment. I think she needed that fresh up run. She's only got 53 kilos on her back too.
Yeah, she's been down there for one win from as many starts as well. So, yeah, with the lightweight, the cosy trip from a handy draw, just how she cops track conditions. If it does get to really testing heavy, then that would be a concern. But, yeah, no knock on the form. Sweens, how did you rate her?
Well, I've been with Archaic Smile all through this preparation, including some unlucky runs at Trentham and a couple of other venues. Look, I am worried about the track conditions. It was a good performance on a track where they went 1:13.5 for 1,200 metres. It won't be that on Saturday. It really won't be that. So I'm probably just going to look at outside Archaic Smile on this occasion, albeit the 53, and the talent is definitely there to win this race.
Okay, well, the other joint favourite is Electron from Sam My Knight's stable. So Aidan did catch up with her and just see how the horse is going.
Yeah, really good, really happy with her. It's been a bit frustrating. We've been nomming and scratching because of the rain. I just don't want to give her a gut buster fresh up, but she was very, very strong in her gallop yesterday, so she's ready to do something.
What did you ask of her in that gallop?
Not a lot, but I went as slow as I could. No, she's feeling really well. She's ready to go, so ideally it won't be bottomless, but yeah, looking forward to seeing her step out.
Yeah, I'm with Archaic Smile, the $3.80, muscle on, 53 kilos. Just going to get a beautiful run in the race on barrier 2, and I think be winning on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because we just don't really know how bad, you know, that Otaki will be. For that reason, I've gone with the proven performer in this race, which is Spencer up the top. I know he's got top weight to carry in a Group 3 handicap, but he was terrific last time out. He won this race last year, and I'm with them. I thought maybe you just got to really consider Bellardo Boy if it's going to get really heavy as well. But it's a tricky one, Bevan. What did you find?
Well, I was with the Scanner last time in the Open here, and I think it would get very similar conditions. I don't think anything can turn the tables on the Scanner that was in that race, Turn the Ace and others. The horse is absolutely flying, come back a beast, will handle really deep track conditions, can jump put itself in the race from that barrier. I think it's really tough to beat, and the clear value in the race.
Okay, that's what the guys are liking in the Group 3. Anything else you're liking on the programme?
Yeah, I thought one of the best bets of the day, Swiss Prince in the race 1. He's probably one of the best maideners going around at the moment. Stephen Marsh. Look, barrier 2, he'll be winning.
For mine, I'm going to take you to race 8, horses 1, 3 or 4 this preparation, Matiwa. Joint favourite, I thought he would have been shorter. Simon Cortha takes the 3 off to 57, but just going so well. So I'm going to follow him through, hopefully for another win.
You thought there was a couple of nice horses in there in Atmospheric and Monologue. Whether they start will be the question mark. I went with Mild Faith. He is, and again, just Charlie. I didn't want to tip him out as a best bet or anything, but I think he, on the evidence of what he did last start when he was really, really unlucky, he should be competitive as he continues to build towards the New Zealand Cup.
Come on.
Swings left him, wouldn't it?
Plays $12 in the New Zealand Cup as well. Sweeney, Bevan's probably had a couple of
Is he the new LJ of Sweeney?
I think LJ might be coming back from the New Zealand Cup, I heard too, Bevan.
Oh, I did hear a whisper that a really nice horse is coming back from Paddy Payne, but I'll leave that for later, and Kevin will unleash that very shortly.
Okay, well, go adjust Charlie. In the meantime, though, it is time for our trial files. And Aidan, you've kind of alluded that you've got one here that Thad will be giving you a bit of stick for, maybe? Who have you got?
Well, if we're going to pick out the trial, let's talk about get the trial that was most talked about for the week. This was the big one, the Everest and King Charles
biggest trial we've ever seen ever.
Absolutely.
They said the crowd was amazing there.
Yeah, big crowd, and they had the coffee and bacon and egg buddies on as well. So the horse on the inside is Linebacker, who wins, does it super, overpass on the outside, and there's Young Rising, obviously the hot Everest favourite. Further back in the race, Jolly Star, I thought
Jolly
was
Star
okay without being really tested. So some really nice trials, and obviously it was the big talking point. Social media, geez, there was so many opinions about it. Did Young Rising look a little bit underdone or not ready or whatever? But I thought his trial was very good. But I really liked the winner.
Yeah, I thought Jolly Star was super. What we didn't see there is once they got past the winning post, Jolly Star was in front of Young Rising, and J Mac just had a turn around and had a hello Zach, you're in my country now.
Yeah,
this is my land.
Winner Linebacker goes to the Silver Eagle, and then probably on to the Golden Eagle after that. We'll have take on Willie Do It, who goes around this weekend in the Ellen the Ellen Brown this weekend at 1.6 million.
Geez, can't wait for next weekend, Sweens, but what have you found for us?
I went to the trials at Awapuni, and the information post this was that they're just going to give it a little bit more time, so not run on the 1st of November. There was a fair bit of kickback as well, but this is a trial of Thorax. Now, the second horse is Casino, who I did highlight out of the trials recently. I think both of these horses can go very close to winning on debut. Not a lot of Casino, but she's very, very competitive, and the winner was very strong. What I will say about all the trials there on the day, there wasn't much ground made up anywhere across the program, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that.
Okay, so those are the trials. Obviously, that very good one from Ranwick and Thorax. So for Bevan, time for us to take another quick break. Off the other side, we're concentrating on Rotorua.
I'm by your side.
Welcome back into the form. We've got Group 3 action on Sunday. Yes, the Swaney Stakes to look forward to. The weather, though, Aidan, not looking too flash.
No, it's a little bit wet. There's some rain in today's forecast and Sunday. Rail in the true position, Leith. It's
the track. Hopefully, the track does dry out a little bit, but it's just. Rotorua is one of those tracks. If that rain does come on the day, we know what's going to happen. They're going to be on the outside fence.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's have a look at the market. Race number 7 on the program. It's a cracking field, that's for sure, so let's hope it doesn't get too wet, because Twain is your favourite at $3.40, who will suit the conditions. You've got Midnight Edition at $5, Whiskey and Roses at $6, Crochetti. But one I know you really like, Sweens, that is over the odds, Grail Seeker, into $7.50 now.
Yeah, look, I thought it must have lost the league, to be honest with you. Grail Seeker at $10 because, look, she was really unlucky at Alizé. I don't think she was going to win the race, but she would have finished a lot closer. And look, there's not a lot around for Grail Seeker lads, so they'll have her primed for this afternoon or Sunday afternoon. And I thought $10 they were giving you a bit of madness price at $10.
Yeah, apparently she was $3 a place as well, and. Look, she's got the outside gate. It does look like there's going to be a little bit of speed. If somehow Musa can just follow Midnight Edition across a little bit and get midfield, she doesn't like to be pushed out. Look, I thought there was enough tempo. Crochetti's in, fresh up. You got a horse like Whiskey and Roses, natural back marker.
Yep, I had it mapped exactly the same way, same 3 speed horses. I just wondered whether they might be a little bit colder with Dusty Road, because the best performance was in the Foxbridge when they really were pretty cold. So by all accounts, he's going really well too.
Let's go back to Te Rapa and have a look at Whiskey and Roses, who gets past a Midnight Edition here, and track conditions that really suit, but this time up in weight, obviously, with the weight for age conditions. Yeah,
weight for age is just, that's the difference here. So they're up 4.5 kilograms, Midnight Edition up a couple, so it is different, you know, taking on the Group 1 horses.
Nearly unbeaten
well.
on a heavy track.
Yeah.
Look, Midnight Edition had it pretty soft in front, and he mowed him down. He was fresh up. I think he can step up to weight for age, especially if the track gets into heavy
Sectionals
10.
are very good from Whiskey and Roses, quickest closing sectionals. And we know how good a horse at Midnight Edition is. We know how good a horse at Ardalio is as well. So, yeah, it's an interesting form line for those horses stepping up. They are up against some bona fide Group 1 horses at weight for age level, and that's the query on them.
Look, you just can't take these performances away from Whiskey and Roses that he's been putting up, though. There's a couple of performances you just go, well, you can't do that. And so I was so blown away by the performance at its most recent start. I don't think track conditions will hurt it. Second up, the record is there as well. Draws might be a niggle by that point of the day for this particular horse, just getting off the inside. But if Joe can get Whiskey and Roses to the outside, being by Bilardo, look, I'm a little bit with Leith. I think you just can't ignore exceptional performances, and this horse has put up 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, yep, no, definitely agree with you there, Sweens. But what about this runner, Crocetti? We see him come back to the trials. What did you make of it?
Look, I thought his trial was massive. Obviously, his run before that was just a bit of a head scratcher when he went to Perth. I feel that he'll be scratched on a heavy track. We all saw Fresh Up when he raced at Ruakaka, and it sort of just took the edge off him. So I'd be very surprised to see him go around on Sunday unless that track does improve.
Yeah, we want to see the track okay, because he's obviously going really well. He's unbeaten in 3 starts, Fresh Up, and weight for age suits. Remember Karaka Million Night though, in the Group 1 Railway, it rained, and it became a rain affected track, no two ways about it, and he got through it that day. So that might be something that gives him a little bit of confidence, because on form, you know, he's won 9 of 15. He's the class act of the race. He is the horse to beat if he's there, and like it is like on the right surface. But we know he goes well fresh, so you got to like him here, Bevan, as long as he gets the right conditions, right?
Yeah, of course, he's a class act. I just don't know if you can compare Ellerslie rain affected to Rotorua rain affected. And I was there with Leith when he raced at Ruakaka, and he just got away with it on pure class and might have just taken the edge off him. So I'm a little bit like Leith. If it's a heavy 10 and rain coming on the day, I just don't see Danny lining him up. He's too precious to him and Daniel. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if he's in the mix and they think the track's okay, the way it trialled, he's big, he's bad, and like he'll be back to winning races this prep.
Yeah, he certainly will be. If it's not on Sunday, it'll be very shortly. But there's another Group 1 performer, of course. It is Grail Seeker. And Aidan did catch up with Andrew Scott and just asked how she's going.
Yeah, she's really good. Look, she didn't have much luck there at Ellerslie, and we thought if she'd got good fortune, she would have quickened well. But yeah, look, we gave her a week at the farm. She had a quiet week, just trotting and cantering. She had a chance to freshen her batteries, and yeah, she's certainly brightened in the coat, and the team's really happy with her. You know, Pratap's been riding her. He said her work on Tuesday here was great. She had a little gallop between races last Saturday, and Opie rode her, and he gave her a glowing report. So yeah, we're pleased with her. We think she's going as good as she was going into the Group 1. So let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah, let's certainly hope. And there she is on the race form cover. And I think they'll be okay because the curse was finally broken.
Yeah, they got it right last week, high Sass Bomb, and they're going for 2 for 2. And look, she's a proper weight for age horse now. I know Rotorua is probably not really her ideal track, but geez, at $10 when she opened, that was just stupid money.
Yeah, it was. I think everyone here's had to go in here. So that's what we were giggling about earlier on, seeing the $10 moving to $7.50.
The market was out yesterday, so don't blame us.
Exactly right. There was such confidence in Andrew Scott there. You know, he was thinking that no real problems on the wet track. They think that that's okay. They think she'll get round Rotorua all right. And like you say, she's a Group 1 weight for age winner of a Tarzino last year. So
and a Telegraph where she brained them.
Yeah, when you push send all, team, send all, you've had your chance. $10 has been up there since yesterday afternoon. If this show's on, time's gone. I just couldn't believe it. I was gobsmacked. $10. We almost had her as one of the best bets on the weekend, or if not the best bet on the weekend. I don't want it to be a bottomless for her because she is sparkling with her turn of foot. But for me, if Shetty's not there, she's the one, and she'll be backed. I think she'll be backed into maybe under $4 by the time the race starts.
Okay, well that's what to the market, and Grail Seeker might be paying on Sunday. But what about other runners in the race too? We haven't heard from a couple of trainers. Let's start with Stephen Marsh.
Going really well. Really liked her first up run. She didn't have a lot of luck. It's brought her on nicely. pretty hot field. Crescetti lines them up, but she won't run if it's too heavy, but she's going very well.
Yeah, going real well and looking real well, yeah. And hope he goes a good one.
Okay. Training-wise, what have you done with him ahead of this one?
Oh, I gave him a bit of a time off after that last run and then brought him back again and just had a few gallops last week and this week, yeah.
How much has he pleased you?
Yeah, he seems right with him, yeah.
He's well. It's been a while since he raced, and we sort of freshened him a little, having a breeze up today with Vinny on, and we're very pleased with his progress.
Yep. What have you done with him since last time?
Well, not a lot early, but he's just had a quiet time, and we'll just, as I say, give him a bit of a stronger breeze up today to see where he's actually at as to whether we do anything later in the week.
Yep. All the signs you're looking for from him, they're there for this weekend?
Yeah, he's a class animal. There's some nice horses in it, of course. You've got to beat them all. Hopefully for a nice draw, and that the track is is okay, and we'll go to fight.
I'm with Grail Seeker. Look, I thought she was crazy money when she opened at 10s, and look, a little bit of a question mark at Rotorua on the heavy 10 if it sort of gets out that way, but she's the class horse of the field, and I think she'll be awfully hard to beat on Sunday.
Yeah, she was definitely the value in the race, so there's no question of that. However, I went with my top selection as being Crescetti. If he shows up, he's unbeaten fresh. He does handle a rain-affected track. Craig Grill's an interesting rider. Obviously, Warren Kennedy sticks to Jaffe with the link to Cambridge Stud, but I really like Crescetti here.
I've just got to stick with Grail Seeker. I thought the money was crazy, so when it came up 10, I think Grail Seeker with... Look, Group 1 wins were spectacular last season, so look, she was unlucky at Elsley. I think she was at ridiculous money, and we'll just see where that all ends up.
And my price, I think, will just keep on shortening after this as we move from there now to the Stephanos Classic, another race we want to have a look at on the programme. Race number 6, Bozo heads to betting at 480. You've got GG there, Quick Fire, Bosch. Leith, who was the one for you in this race?
I think Bozo, Pip. Look, has won on the track before. Kevin Myers, look, 56 kilos is enough, but just that liking for that Rotorua track, I thought.
Yeah, we didn't get to see Kenny Rock last week, but as we said last week when assessing that performance, was running home quicker than Trav in the last 400 and 200 at Ellerslie last time out. So I really like Kenny Rock. I'm going to stick with the ship in the same colours as Spencer for the Shoemaker, so hopefully he can do it at both ends of the island.
I thought one horse that's been really much improved this preparation is Rosetown Princess for Darren Hollinshead. The win at New Plymouth was great. And post that, I thought, was that just a one-off on a very tough track condition? Clearly not. This horse has been going great. It was very good behind Diamond Jack at Matamata when most recently seen. And this mare will definitely handle off-track conditions. So I think she's right in this. The gate will even help by that time of day.
And a nice price in that market as well. Now we need another one, the best of the rest. What are you liking?
It's probably going to be Scratch maybe, but I thought a Smart Love, if she lines up, she'll be going very close in the last race. If she does come out, maybe I'll change over to maybe Tess Win. He's going for 3 in a row and he loves a heavy track.
He is. I'm going to go to race 1, Sweet Talking Girl. Hasn't been seen since running second to Mr. Marigold, who's since come out and won again as well. So has been to the trials, trialled really well. So just so much upside around Sweet Talking Girl, who does get first use of the track as well.
I'm keen race 5, a horse called Dance With Her, missed a lip fresh up here in NZ on a very wet track condition. I think this horse is a real wet tracker. Maybe Tarapa, she got back and she probably got lost for a turn of speed on the better track there at Tarapa. However, if she gets a wet one, Dance for her is dangerous in the 5th.
And that completes our look at Rotorua. Of course, you can catch all that action on the Sunday sesh as we move on to our bank builders. Leith, who have you found for us?
Back to Ashburton, Pip. Race 1, professional lad. He's dual wind, Bruno on, good gate, $4.60. I think he'll be winning on Saturday.
That's a really good race, that too, that first race there. I'm going to go back to where I was just a couple of seconds ago. Sweet Talking Girl in the first from Rotorua on Sunday. Just really liking the lead-up form. So, yeah, with her. Sweens, how about you?
I'm going to the second at Otaki, a horse called Kwanzaa for the Nelson and McDougall team. I thought it was massive fresh up over ground. It was fresh for about 75, 80 days. 3 wide the trip, hung in there, only beaten a couple of lengths. I think it's got a good draw, Jay Riddell aboard. I think the price is really good at double figures.
And those are your bank builders as we take you to another quick break. Off the other side, our best bets are coming up. You're watching The Form, and it's time to talk about our best bets. Before we do, though, we've got the wash-up from last week. And talking about wash-ups, well, it pretty much was anyway, wasn't it, guys? Because the rain just did not help us out. But, Leith, I think you got on the board.
Yeah, Autumn Glow was good, Pip. Pretty easy sort of watch, really. She's a 7 from 7. I know she was short, but it was a good ride by Kieran McAvoy as well. So, look, I was happy to take the win.
I think we've all been close, but just not close enough. Mine was the worst third of all time. Mark Brosnan tipped out Diamond Jack on the show last week, among trainers to get success as well.
Yeah, he did. And the leaderboard too. We are slipping. We're slipping. No pluses anymore, but let's hope that changes this week. Before we give you our best bets, though, here are the trainers.
I've got a first starter at Taupo, a 3-year-old Zavabel gelding called Early Divine. 2 trials, both very good. The last trial he won by 4, so he'll be chanced with the ace draw.
Pieces of 8 at Taupo on Friday. Looking forward to her after her first up run was good.
Really like Swiss Prince. He's venturing to Otaki on Saturday. His form's very good and looks to be in a very nice race for him.
I'll go with Tempest Moon. I think the further she goes and the wetter it is, the better she'll be.
Look, I'll probably go with Honey Badger. We had her in at Rotorua that's just come up a little bit strong for her at this stage for her career, so she heads to Otaki on Saturday. She's going to get track conditions to suit, and she's definitely due another winning turn.
I'll go Miss Major Dista at Otaki if hopefully the sun comes down a bit for us there as well.
Oh, probably I can't split 2. Part-time Lover and Atmospheric, they're both going really well. Bit of a question mark, the track comes back to what they need, but yeah, both flying good first up runs and they've trained on really well with it.
I'll stick with Cognito. I think he's going really well, so hopefully he can prop up.
I'm going to say Harlock. I think he's going to be very cheeky down there at Ashburton, and even though it's fresh up, he always goes a bottle of fresh anyway, and it's the distance that'll suit.
Sweet talking gal. No idea where she's going yet, but wherever she goes, follow her.
I got my whole team in on the weekend. Chatel Rose and the 3-year-old 1200 at Rotorua, if the track improves. She's not running on a heavy track.
Yeah, no, he's the only one I've got, so he's got to be the pick of the week. Yeah.
Well, Twain.
Look, we'll go Grail Seeker. She's our class mare of the weekend racing, and you know, if she can get ground to suit, she's gonna really burn home.
Well, he tipped us a winner in the Group 1, Andrew Scott. Can he do it again in the Group 3?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, but it just shows the confidence that's coming out of the camp. So, you know, when we're hearing that, we're getting.
You know, when the Sullivan Scott horses are set for a race, they don't normally get it wrong either.
Yep.
Yeah, make sure you take a screenshot of this. It will be on socials as well for you to follow the trainers. But in the meantime, it is time for our punting competition. Yes, we've been up against the League Up team. Aidan got us off to a good win in the first week up against Thaddeus Taylor, so $307 still in that pot. Unfortunately, as I say, we had heaps of scratchings last week with Paul and I, so it was a bit of disgrace there. That means the money, the scratchings rolls over to you, Bevan. You're up against BP, 2 big heavy hitters. What do you got?
We've been friends for 25 years, so this will be okay no matter what happens. This will be okay. Look, I'm going to play a couple of multis. I think there's a couple of decent plays, but look, I looked at it and thought, well, it's not really a weekend with heavy tracks that I really want to be betting into, but $40 multi at Otaki, Kwanzaa top 3 into Dubois Bodaki. I think there's a good chance of getting up. $40 multi at Taupo. I asked you for 1 pip because I'm using 50 of yours, so you wanted a woman in charge at Taupo in race number 5, and I think Sacred Set is primed to win at Otaki in the last. $40 multi Ashburton. I love what Texas Dolly did at its fresh up run. $3.50 there, a lot of go top 3 in the feature at $2. And I'm taking the 10s, although it's not there anymore. I've got 30 to win at $10 on Grail Seeker at Rotorua.
Good old Sweens, he said, I'll take 50 of yours, and he puts a $40 bet on. He's just pocketing the other 10, is he?
Yeah,
Let's
you
go
can
there.
go get a coffee where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, okay.
As well as doing these ones as well. That's all right, Sweens. Anyway, let's get our best bets. What are you liking, Leith?
I'm going to go back to Sydney. Pip Mahuna, race 4, Roman Consul Stakes. Look, this is a filly. She won the slipper last season. She's come back big and strong. Tommy Berry sticks, 54.5 kilos. A little bit short, but $2. She should be winning.
I'm going to go to the feature, the Group 3 Barneswood Farm Stakes, and taken by Miss Starlight, unbeaten in 3. Brilliant in the Canterbury Bell last time out. If she brings that form, I think she can win the Barneswood Farm at Group 3.
Look, I'm going to the last at Otiki. Sacred Z, I thought it was a real head scratcher at Waverley. Jumped well away from the mile and got restrained back to the field to last on a day when nothing ran on, and then ran on into second. So I think Sacred Z is very close to a win on Saturday at Otiki.
And I'm going for Hostility at Taupo, race number 2 on Friday. I think his fresh up run is actually a lot better than it looked. So I'm going for him to pick up the win. Craig Grills in the saddle. And those are our best bets for the weekend. If you want to follow us in, we're here. His summary. Leith is playing across in Australia. I'm kicking us off with Hostility. Miss Starlight for Aiden. Bevan with Sacred Z. And the Whale is jumping in too. He's at the Mott with Rena there on Sunday in the last. And then that completes the form for another week. Really looking forward to the action, particularly that Sweetness Stakes.
Yeah, hopefully the weather plays its part again, and look, I think there's a really strong card at Ashburton. Be good punting there.
Yeah, we just hope that Sweens can uphold our end of the bargain and put BP to the sword.
Hey, you're only as good as your next rodeo, A-Rod, so we'll just see how we go on Saturday.
I have all faith that that is the form for the week. We'll catch you back next week, hopefully as winners.